What is going on, guys? I am SceptileMC, George, the coach of the San Francisco Arcaniners, and I'm here to bring you the much hyped up match between the San Francisco Arcaniners and the Bayern Munich, coached by Schatty. Link in the description below, guys. Really incredible guy, incredible battler, and honestly, I can say this with I 100% believe this, guys, with the 100% honestly here, one of the best players in the draft style format I have ever seen. If you do not know who Schatty is, go check him out, guys. Link in the description below and everything. Go check out the Pokemon Premier League as well. I think he's one of the main people actually behind that league. But without further ado, let me get into the team. So Schatty made it all the way to the finals with me, and I've been looking forward to battling this guy for a very long time. Did I expect it to be in the finals of the March Madness Tournament? No, not really, to be honest. I didn't. However, it is, and I really hate to say it, Schatty, but the Arcaniners are not going to lose another championship. So let me get right on into his team. He drafted the Mega Blastoise, a huge threat. Mega Blastoise is such an underrated Pokemon in draft. It rarely gets drafted, I feel like. And then in the past couple seasons of like the Premier League, I think, and maybe other leagues as well, a very good player has drafted it and proved that it is phenomenal. Its speed is pretty good. Its bulk is incredible. Its special attack stats unreal. Its ability is incredible. Its coverage is incredible. It's an incredible Pokemon, guys. If you need to draft a Mega, please draft Mega Blastoise. It's incredible. But Mega Blastoise, the Terrakion, huge threat. The Golurk, another threat. The Salamence, which is terrifying. The Shaman, the Heliolisk, and the Jirachi. So immediately looking at this man's team, I see one Pokemon that can take a Draco Meteor, one Pokemon that can take a Hyper Voice, and it's the same Pokemon again. It's Jirachi. So Jirachi is going to be the switch in to my Latios and to my Mega Gardevoir. Of course, I do have the Shadow Ball on my Mega Gardevoir as well as the Earthquake, but I will get into that later. So initially my plan is nothing takes Dracos except Jirachi. So what is a way I could still go for Dracos and still go for Earthquake? And I'll actually lead off with this set right here because I feel like it's more important than my other ones. So actually I'm going to lead off with the sets I feel are the most. So there we go. So these two are the best ones for now. But so I decided to run an Expert Belt Latios with the hasty nature. I felt I'd be taking more Seed Flares than I'd be taking, I don't know, Iron Heads or U-turns or Dragon type moves. I felt I'd be needing to take more on the special side. You guys will see that was a mistake later on, but I'll get into that later. So I have max speed, or enough speed to outspeed a Heliolisk, so I got to run an extra 4 EVs in attack. Hell yeah, right, guys? It's gonna make a huge difference. But max special attack, have the Earthquake, the Psychic, the Draco Meteor, and the Energy Ball. The Energy Ball hits the Blastoise, the Terrakion, and the Golurk. The Earthquake hits the Terrakion, and the Heliolisk, and the Jirachi, and the Draco smacks everything. And the Psychic is just so if I want to revenge kill something, I don't have to drop a Draco to do a lot of damage to it. For example, on the Mence or something, if I can revenge kill the Mence with a Psychic, I will. If I don't know. If I have to revenge kill the Shaman, I probably want to go for Psychic instead of Draco so I can drop a full power Draco on the next thing that comes out. So this is that set. Also, I can bluff a choice item with this. He might think I'm Choice Scarf or Choice Specs. Choice Scarfed Latios could actually be a thing in this match, only because it outspeeds the Terrakion, the Heliolisk, and the Mence, in case any of those are Choice Scarfs. So next up, I decided to bring Breloom. Now, Breloom has a very, very good potential against this man's team because he's incredibly weak to Mach Punch. His only thing that can switch in reliably to a Mach Punch is either the Mega Blastoise, which gets destroyed by Bullet Seed, the Golurk, which gets destroyed by Bullet Seed, the Mence, which does not want to be put to sleep or hit by a Rock Tomb, and the Shaman. And the Shaman is the thing I thought, you know what, that's going to be the switch in. I feel like it's going to be the Shaman, so I'm not going to run Spore. I'm not going to ever be able to get off a Spore unless I kill the Shaman off. Now, I decided I have to have the Mach Punch and I have to have the Bullet Seed. Those two moves are just a must. Now, I decided not to run the Spore. Instead, I vouched for a Substitute and Focus Punch set. And with Adamant Life Orb, Focus Punch, clean Oko's a Shaman. It blasts it into oblivion. So that is the plan with that, as well as if I get behind a sub, not even a Mence wants to take a Focus Punch off this thing. It's incredibly powerful, and overall, if I get behind a sub and the sub does not get broken, I'm killing 2-3 things with this thing. So that is the idea behind my Breloom. It's just gonna bash in his team and really hopefully put a dent in it, and then also prevent the Heliolisk or the Terrakion from sweeping me in the late game. Next up, I love my natural gift, guys. Come on, I really love my natural gift. So I have to run a natural gift Weavile, and everyone always wonders, natural gift, is it really worth it? Honestly, I think it's one of the most underrated moves in draft style. So I have SD on this thing, and the only thing that stops an SD Weavile from completely sweeping this man's team is if Terrakion's on max health, or if the Blastoise can take a hit. Now, Terrakion on max health, I can't really do anything against that. I'm just gonna have to weaken it before I send in my Weavile to sweep. But I can do something about the Blastoise. I can run Natural Gift, Electric, 100 base power, and after an SD, if this man's max HP, max defense, I think I still Oko because I'm adamant. I don't need to run. I don't have to run Jolly because the fastest thing on his team is the Heliolisk, which I outspeed by 1 point with Jolly max speed. So that's fantastic for me. Just the perfect speed to outspeed that. The knockoff hits everything for massive amounts of damage. I decided to vouch for HP Electric over a Natural Gift Electric over Natural Gift Grass, in case he thinks, okay, why would he SD up on me? I'm gonna go into Salamence right now to take the HP or the Natural Gift if he has it, and then he goes in Immense and I can still do a whole butt ton of damage. Then I can revenge kill with knockoff. If he doesn't have enough bulk on the Mega Blastoise, my knockoff is still doing a shit ton of damage. So this thing is a late game sweeper as well, and there's not much that he can do to actually take it down. Next up, I have my Hippowdon right here, Mr. Nado. Rocky Helmet with the Earthquake, the Stealth Rocks, the Ice Fang, and the Slack Off. I love Rocky Helmet on this Pokemon just because it's so bulky and it has reliable recovery, so it doesn't need the leftovers. And then the Earthquake is just a reliable stab move against his entire team, and the only things I can't hit with Earthquake are the Salamence and the Shaman, and could have gone Toxic, could have gone with Whirlwind, but I decided I need that offensive pressure against the Salamence. I do not want it to think it can set up on me, so I have the Ice Fang just for that thing. And then I have the Sandstream. I decided on Sandstream this time just because I know he has the Terrakion and the Golurk. However, I can break a... To be honest, it's just there. It's just there. I decided not to run Sandforce. It's not too useful, and I feel like my team... I don't have any Sash users on my team, so I felt like just the consistent damage would be pretty useful against him. Next up, I have Big Bro right here, the Snorlax, and I decided to run Max Attack, Adamant Nature with Max Special Defense, AV Snorlax. Now this thing is an animal. Oh my god, it just eats up the hits. Mega Blastoise's modest Max Special Attack Aura Sphere against this Snorlax set does about 35%. Do you know how powerful that Aura Sphere is? That 2-hit KOs Umbreon. 2-hit KOs Umbreon. And does a third to my Snorlax. So this thing is just going to come in. It is the one that will be absorbing the special hits. It is going to absorb the hits from the Heliolisk, the Shaman, if it's a Special Mence, the Special Mence, and Blastoise. I'm relying on this thing a lot. It's the backbone of the team right now. I got the Seed Bomb for Blastoise, Terrakion, and Golurk. Got the return for just nice even damage across the board. I have Earthquake for the Terrakion, and the Heliolisk, and the Jirachi, and then, of course, the Ice Punch for the Mence, the Golurk, and the Shaman. I hit everything for super effective on his team with this set, and it's a tank. It's very powerful, and there's not much he can do to stop it. And finally, this is the icing on the cake. This set right here, guys. So, I was looking at his team, and Mega Gardevoir hits his team extremely hard, but there's one major problem with it, and that is the fact that he has a lot of Mons that either... And I open Skype again. Good job, George. Stop it. Stop it. There's a lot of Pokemon on his team that outspeed me. And Terrakion is one. And the Salamence is a speed tie. The Shaman is a speed tie. And the Heliolisk outspeeds me. And the Jirachi, if he's max speed, is a speed tie. So I was thinking to myself, I don't want to risk all the speed ties. I want this thing to come in. I want the Jirachi to be already weakened or dead. And I just want to go for Hyper Voices without being afraid of being revenge killed. So I decided to run a Trick Room spread with the Hyper Voice, the Shadow Ball, and the Destiny Bond. Now the Destiny Bond is so on the last turn of Trick Room, if it's me versus the Blastoise and the Blastoise is on max health, I can just go for Destiny Bond and take it out. If that's the case, if I'm like about to die or something, I don't know, I just have it on there because I didn't need really any more coverage. The Hyper Voice hits everything on his team, and the Shadow Ball is for the Jirachi. I was debating running all my IVs and just having it be a speed tie if it's a min speed Jirachi, or just run a tiny bit more than min speed so that I could outspeed a max special defensive Jirachi. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going for 0 IVs, and I'm going to outspeed everything on his team. Of course, the Blastoise, if it is min speed Blastoise, will be able to outspeed me, but I'll be able to already scout that out beforehand. So I have 2 late game sweepers, 2 Pokemon that are going to completely threaten his team, and 2 walls which make up the backbone. So I have the Hippowdon and the Snorlax as the backbone of my team. I have the Latios and the Breloom that are hopefully going to be able to rip the necessary holes in his team that I need for my Weavile to sweep or my Gardevoir to sweep at the end. So anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get right on. I know this was an incredibly long team builder, by the way. I apologize. But without further ado, I'm very happy to bring you the finale match against Shadi, the Bayern Mewnich. Alright, guys, I'm going to turn this on a little bit. Here we are with the final match of the TTM March Madness Tournament. So, immediately just looking at his team, I see the Golurk, and I don't see the Salamence. And I can just think to myself, holy shit, that is a blessing. The Salamence was a huge threat to me. My only way of dealing with it was either Ice Fang, which he could have had Aqua Tail, or the Hydro Pump 4, or the Ice Shard off the Weavile, which he could have trapped with something else, with like Pursuit, or could have just dealt damage to before. So that is just in general a huge threat to my team out of the way right away. So looking at it though, I see everything else that I expected. The Jirachi, of course, really speaks to me in the sense of I need to take that thing out. This is the biggest threat to my team, and I'm looking at it. What is his lead going to be? And I see 2 options. I see the Golurk for rocks or the Heliolisk. So I'm going to lead off with my Latios, as he actually decides to lead off with his Mega Blastoise. Now right here, I decide, you know what, I need my Latios. I don't want to sack it off this early. I do have the Energy Ball, but he can definitely take a hit. So I decide to go out into my Snorlax. I go into the backbone of the team, and right away, I'm not taking any risks here. He goes into the Heliolisk. Now, if he wants to stand and go for a Focus Blast, that'll do absolutely nothing to me. I absorb that Volt Switch. I full-on eat it up, and my Snorlax just takes it down and uses it for energy. I made a bad play here. I go for a turn. The switch out was way too obvious, and I should have gone for Earthquake. Alternatively, I could have gone for a Seed Bomb, but that would have been a ballsy prediction. So I should have gone for Earthquake there to get some damage off. It didn't really matter too much in the end, though. He goes into Golurk and fires off a Dynamic Punch, and I predict that very nicely and go into Hippowdon. Now here, he's going to do one of 2 things. He's going to make a switch out into the Blastoise, or he's going to go into a Shaman, or he's going for his Rock. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go in Shrooms. I'm going to go into my Breloom, and I know he's afraid of the Bullet Seed. I know he's afraid of the Spore, and because he doesn't have the Salamence, I know for a fact his only switch into Bullet Seed is going to be the Shaman. So I go for Substitute, and at this point, I just know something's going to die here. He does not have a Fighting Resist on his team, and Adamant Life or Focus Punch is just too powerful. Goes for the Dazzling Gleam, takes out my sub, and the Shaman just gets obliterated, pushed back through the wall to China over there, wherever China is. You guys know where you are. I push him back. I push him through the center of the earth. He's gone. He's dead. So that's immediately gone. So the momentum's all in my favor. Now this is where Shadi, being a fantastic draft style player comes into play. I go into my Hippowdon knowing he's going to go for an Iron Head or a Zen Headbutt. Takes a Rocky Helmet. So I'm thinking, you know what? I can go for my rocks here. I can go for an Earthquake. I think I click Earthquake right here as he reveals the Grass Knot and takes me out. So he is a mixed Jirachi set. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go into Weavile. I'm going to bait out the Blastoise. I can smack him with a knockoff and then take him out with a natural gift. He stays in, has a Colbur Berry, and then goes for Iron Head and takes out my Weavile. So immediately, all the momentum I had on my side is now over on Shoddy's. He just took out 2 of my Mons. Now, this Latios is expert belted. I know I can take him out using Earthquake. I'm not going to drop a Draco. I know I could take him out from that range, but I know a Draco isn't going to be my best play because it baits anything out. He goes into the Golurk here, not expecting me to have a move to hit it that well. I go for Energy Ball. Expert Belt booted, does take it out from that range. Take out the Golurk, nice and clean. So immediately I push back. He pushed me back. I pushed him. He pushed me. I'm pushing him right back with the offensive pressure. That was a bad play right there. Right there on the switch. I should have stayed in. I should have gone for Energy Ball right here. But I expected the Terrakion to be Chople Berry and the Heliolisk to be Choice Scarf. That is what I honestly expected. He goes for Dark Pulse. As right here, I do believe I just go for a Seed Bomb. I know he's going to have to switch out. And Aurasphere is going to be able to KO me from this range, but if he wants to be able to take any hit using the Mega Blastoise, he has to switch out there. Go for Seed Bomb. He's going to go for Stone Edge, and he's going to get a critical hit. Now, it could have mattered. I didn't have any defensive investment. I didn't have any HP investment. And if I was max HP, max defense, it would have done about half. So, it could have mattered. Now, with the hasty nature, this was a roll as well. He turns out to be a Choice Scarf Terrakion, so I'm going to actually pause right there. The Latios switch in. The reason I went into Latios there, so I could have gone into Breloom, or I could have gone into Latios. Now, if he was a Chople Berry set, my Breloom would not have killed with the Mach Punch, I believe. So I decided against that. I decided I need to see if he's Choice Scarfed or not. I can't just rush into it and just think he's not Chople Berry. I already saw the Colbur Berry. It is completely on Shoddy's mind that he would run the Chople Berry to take on my Breloom. I could see that completely, especially because he doesn't have the Ments. So I go into my Latios, and I think, you know what? This is about... Min damage is like 73%, 72%. Max is like 78. I have a decent chance here to survive, and if I don't survive, then I know he's Choice Scarfed. And if he's not Choice Scarfed, I kill him and I take out a Pokemon there. He gets the crit, hits 2 Stone Edges in a row, gets 2 crits in a row, and defeats the purpose of 2 rolls completely. So, that is really good for Shoddy, really bad for me. But I know now that all I need to do, I need to get some damage off on the guard. I need to get some damage off on the Blastoise, and then I can win with Trick Room Gardevoir. So that is my plan right there. I'm going to go for Mach Punch right here. He decides to actually sack off his Heliolisk. It was a good play on his part. I just go for the safe Mach Punch. I'm not going to go for him being too slow or him just locking himself in his Stone Edge and just going for a crit there and me going for the Bullet Seed. He goes into Blastoise, and I know this thing has speed to outspeed my Breloom. I'm not stupid. I know he's going to run enough speed to outspeed my Breloom. He does not have enough Chexa to Breloom on my team to not have a speedy Blastoise. Turns out, by that damage, he was running a lot of speed investment. And now, right here, I think Shoddy thought he had the game right here. But in fact, he's going to go for a Scald. We are going to take that phenomenally because we have max HP investment. He does get the burn, so if he had the Quick Attack on his Terrakion, this could have been a different game, actually. However, I'm going to pull Trick Room out of my bag. The chat goes absolutely crazy now with a long list of just, wow, no way. And then I go for Hyper Voice, take out the Blastoise, and on the final turn, Terrakion against Mega Gardevoir. If I did not have the Trick Room, I changed that maybe 2 minutes before the battle. I had the idea like, you know what, I don't want to deal with all the speed ties. I'm going to run Trick Room. And if I had run any other set, I would have lost that game right there. I would have lost that game. There was no doubt in my mind that I would not have lost there. So, Shoddy, that was a fantastic game, bro. That was Guys, please, I know I've mentioned this before for like 2 minutes. Go check out Shoddy. He is a fantastic draft league player. If you like my draft league content of the GBA, you will really love the PPL. Go see Shoddy. He's a great battler. This kid knows so much about battling. He's one of the most knowledgeable battlers I know, especially in draft. And I'm just going off on a tangent about Shoddy now, about how great he is and stuff. But now I'm going to talk about the tournament a little bit. I'm going to go off on a little bit on the tournament. You guys can click off if you don't care now. You guys saw the battle. That's what it was, the finale. The Sub Punch Breloom, the mixed Latios, and then the Trick Room Gardevoir really caught him by surprise. So that's why I was able to come out on top. But I just want to talk about the tournament. So if you guys did not know, the tournament it meant to start at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, April 9th, and it was expected to go until about 7:30. This tournament lasted until 10:30 at night. I was sitting at my desk at college in my room for 9.5 hours playing this stupid fucking game, which pisses me off so much, and for 9.5 hours, and that seems like it's a lot of time for me. I want to say thank you to all the Europeans that also did that, because while it was 10:30 for me, it was like 4:30 for them or 3:30 for them. So they are the real troopers behind that. But going through the tournament, guys, I lost my first round of the pools. I lost the first battle in the pool, and I thought at that point, I'm like, holy shit, you know what? I just lost my first battle. There is a very good possibility I'm not even going to make it out of pools. And I was talking to some people. They were just like, hey, George, you have 3 more battles left. You have to win the next 3 battles. And I'm like, I know that. Of course, I'm going to try to go for it. And I won the next 3 pretty handedly, actually. One giving me real trouble at the end there. But I didn't show the pool battles because there would have been 4 extra battles to show. And you guys didn't want to wait a week to see the finals. I know that. So I got out of pools with a 3-1 record and +8. And I was relieved. I was number 1 in the seed for my pool, and we had the first round match, the first battle of the first round match against Under the Radar, and I made some huge misplays at the end there, and I could have actually lost the game at the end if he was a certain set on his Gardevoir. So this couldn't have even happened just because I'm a stupid player sometimes. Then we replay someone that we already played in the pools, Mr. Rizzy Pow. Riz had another fantastic battle with him. Next up, I played someone who was in the Open division, actually, not in the All-Star division, so I didn't play an All-Star in the semifinals, and that was probably one of the easier battles in the brackets, not because he's not a good battler, just because my team matchup actually won against his completely. Only the Dragonite really threatened me at the end, and then the finals was against Shoddy, and I've been looking forward to battling Shoddy in draft for such a long time. But guys, the tournament, honestly, it was exhausting. It was an exhausting experience. I didn't expect to be so tired after that. You guys think you were sitting down at a computer all day for 10 hours. You should feel like you have all the energy in the world still. You didn't do anything. But mentally, to be playing these high-pressure games where if you lose, you're out, puts a lot of strain on you mentally. And I was shaking by the end of the battle. I'm just like trying to use my mouse and press everything, and I'm shaking against Shoddy, and I'm like, oh my god, like, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired right now. And I got done, and I stood up, and I just felt relieved that it was over. I felt an adrenaline rush because I just won. I screamed after I got the last kill. I screamed as soon as I got up to Trick Room, because I knew at that point he would not have Quick Attack on a Choice Scarf Terrakion. And it's not the fact that I won the prize at the end. It's not that at all. I won a $30 gift card, in case you guys wanted to know. But it's the fact that I accomplished what I didn't think I could do. 60 people were in the or maybe 40, 50 people. I don't know how many people were in the tournament, but a lot of people were in this tournament, and 2 out of the 5 people in every pool went through. That is not a good ratio right there. That is 40% of the All-Star people made it into the brackets. And to be honest, after the first loss, I didn't think I would make it. I thought, wow, I messed up really bad in the first battle. I didn't play that well. Then I made it through, and it was just to play the whole tournament and to take a day to play this game. I'm rambling so much now. Oh my god. But I'm going to try to shorten this part now. I'm just going to try to think about what I want to say real quick. It was really honoring to participate in this tournament and to represent the GBA in a tournament that the biggest leagues across YouTube have entered, and the best battlers from each of those leagues have entered. Now, I'm not saying the people who didn't enter were not the best battlers. Of course, in the GBA, for example, A-Drive didn't enter, Mega Mogwai didn't enter, John didn't enter, Nick, so many people I could name, but we decided that we would represent the GBA with Lars and Fizz, and Lars did not make it out of the pool. That's how much competition there was, and then Fizz got knocked out in the first round, and then I was just alone to represent the GBA, and it was a lot of pressure on me. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a lot of pressure that I can't lose when I'm part of the biggest league. I need to represent my league. I need to represent myself as well, because especially after losing the championships of the GBA, I felt really down on myself after that, especially in the league play, because I was like, I tried so hard to get there, and in the D League, I've been so disappointing in the battles that matter the most, which is the playoffs, the championships, and I always psych myself out. I always make the wrong plays at the wrong times, and I can never figure out why that is. And I feel like winning a tournament like this has just really boosted my confidence, and I'll be able to play in the playoffs a lot better than I have been before. So this was a fantastic learning experience for me, and the fact that I won the whole thing, and I did not lose in the championships. Thank you, Dan. I'm going to come back for you, by the way, Dan. A-Drive. So yeah, that is, I just rambled for a very long time, guys, but I really want to give a huge thank you to the Token Minorities for hosting this tournament. It was a fantastic experience. If you guys, I believe this was the 3rd annual, so the 4th annual, I'll definitely try to be a part of it, and I expect a lot of more people to want to be a part of it too after this. So huge thanks as well to, I'm trying to think, all the moderators that helped with the tournament. Huge thanks to Shoddy at the end. That was a fantastic battle, bro. Have to give props to you. He was undefeated up until this battle, and I was undefeated after my first battle. So yeah, that is gonna be it, guys. I am going to end the video there so I don't ramble endlessly for 20 hours and just kind of bore you guys. If you guys are still here, I really appreciate it, just like for talking, from just listening to me talk forever. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of the uploads from the Token Minority Tournament. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. And the next time you'll see the Arcaniners really competitively will probably be in the GBA. So look forward to that, guys. Of course, SMD is continuing, but that's not too competitive. As you guys know, the teams are kind of biased in the sense of one team completely destroys another and you can't do anything about it, and then you play someone else that completely destroys you, can't do anything about it. But it's a really fun league, but it's not just as competitive as I would, of course, like it to be. But I'm gonna stop rambling now. I'm just continuing going. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. So if you did in fact enjoy, I would really appreciate it if you did comment, like, rate, and subscribe. I was at my computer for like 9.5 hours to get to this final battle, so really appreciate it if you guys did leave a like. It really helps me out. Really keeps me going on YouTube when you guys like my videos. I don't know, why am I so like emotional right now? That's so sad. I'm talking to a Gardevoir standing there, just like dancing around, just kind of with the beat of the music, even though it's not doing the beat of the music at all. It's way too slow. And once again, I'm rambling. So anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. If you did in fact enjoy, I'd really appreciate if you did comment, like, rate, and subscribe. I am SceptileMC, or George, the coach of your San Francisco Arcaniners, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.